Saturday, the 13th of June, 1942. On Friday, the 12th of June, I woke up early at 6 o'clock. It was my birthday. I'm not allowed to get up then, so I had to wait until 6:45. Then I went down to the dining room where Morcha, my cat, welcomed me. At 7, I went in to Mummy and Daddy, and then to the sitting room for my presents. The nicest present was you, my diary. There was a bunch of roses on the table, and lots more flowers and presents arrived for me during the day. Daddy and Mummy gave me a blue blouse, a game, and a bottle of fruit juice, which tastes quite like wine. At school, I shared out some cakes with my friends, and I was allowed to choose the game that we played in the sports lesson. Afterwards, all my friends danced round me in a circle and sang Happy Birthday. Saturday, the 20th of June, 1942. It's strange, writing a diary. Of course, I've written things before, but who will be interested in the thoughts of a 13-year-old schoolgirl? Well, does it matter? I want to write, and I want to bring out so many things that lie deep in my heart. I need a diary because I haven't got a friend. You won't believe that I am completely alone in the world. And I'm not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, a good home, and about 30 people that I can call friends. There are plenty of boys who are interested in me too. But I haven't got that one true friend who understands me. So this diary can be my new friend. Let's start with the story of my life. My father, the best father in the world, was 36 when he married my mother, who was then 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt am Main, in Germany in 1926. Then I followed on the 12th of June, 1929. Because we are Jewish, we moved to Holland in 1933. My father is the manager of a company called Opteka, which makes things for the jam-making business. After 1940, things were not so good anymore. First the war started, and then the Germans arrived in Holland. Our freedom disappeared. Under the new German laws, Jews must wear a yellow star. Jews must walk everywhere. They can only do their shopping in Jewish shops. And they must be indoors by 8 o'clock at night. They must not even sit in their own gardens after that time. Jews cannot visit the theatre or the cinema. Jews cannot visit Christians, and their children must go to Jewish schools. Sunday, the 21st of June, 1942. Everyone at school is waiting to hear what happens next. Who will move up a class and who will stay down? We're all trying to guess. I think my girlfriends and I will be okay, though we'll have to wait patiently to find out. Most of my teachers like me, but old Mr. Casing gets angry with me because I often talk too much. He made me do some extra homework and write about someone who talks too much. Wednesday, the 24th of June, 1942. It is so hot. Yesterday, I had to walk to the dentist's from school in our lunch hour. I wish that we could go on a bus or a train, but of course us Jews are not allowed to do that. It was so far that I nearly fell asleep afterwards in the afternoon. They were kind at the dentist's, though, and gave me something to drink. I wish I didn't have to go to school. I'm glad it's nearly the summer holidays. 1 more week and our suffering will be over. But something amusing happened too yesterday. A boy called Hello Silberberg asked me to walk to school with him. Hello is 16 and tells lots of funny stories. He was waiting for me again this morning. Wednesday, the 1st of July, 1942. I haven't had time to write until today. Hello and I know each other quite well now. His parents are in Belgium. He came to Holland alone and is living with his grandmother. He had a girlfriend called Ursula, but now that he's met me, he's not interested in her anymore. I know her too. She's very sweet and very boring. Hello came over on Sunday evening. He told me that his grandmother doesn't like our meetings. But on Wednesday nights, his grandmother thinks that he goes to woodwork lessons. He doesn't, so he'll be free to meet me. And he said that he wants to see me on Saturdays and Sundays too. But if your grandmother doesn't want you to meet me, you shouldn't do it behind her back. Everything's allowed in love and war. Hello visited us yesterday to meet my father and mother. We had a big tea and went out for a walk together later. It was 8:10 when he brought me home. Father was very angry because it is so dangerous to be out after 8 o'clock. I promised to come home by 7:50 in future. Sunday, the 5th of July, 1942. My exam results were good. My parents are pleased, of course. And Margot had a brilliant report, as usual. Father has been at home a lot lately, because he can't work at the business anymore. It must be awful for him to feel that he's not needed there. Mr. Clayman and Mr. Kugler are now the managers in the offices. When we went out for a walk together a few days ago, Father said, "We may have to go into hiding soon." "Why?" I asked him. "Why are you talking about it already?" "Well, Anne," he said, "you know that we've been making stores of food, clothes, and furniture for more than a year now. The Germans could take everything away, and us too." He was very serious. "But when will we go?" "Don't worry. We'll arrange everything. Just enjoy yourself while you can." Wednesday, the 8th of July, 1942. It seems like years since Sunday morning. So much has happened. The whole world has turned upside down. But I'm alive, and that's the most important thing. On Sunday afternoon, we heard that the Germans were going to take Father away. We know what that means, to a concentration camp. "Mother's gone to ask Mr. Van Daan about our hiding place," said Margot. "Mr. Van Daan worked in the business with Daddy and is a good friend of his." Then Margot told me later that there was a mistake. The Germans had called her up, not Father. How can they take a girl of 16 away from her family like that? But she's not going. A hiding place. Where shall we hide? In the city? In the country? When? Where? How? These questions were in my mind, though I couldn't ask them. Margot and I started to pack. I packed the craziest things. This diary first, then handkerchiefs, school books, a comb, and some old letters. Memories are more important to me than dresses. Miep and her husband Jan came to help and share the work. They carried some bags of clothes away for us. Miep and Jan work for Father's company, and they are our close friends. I slept for the last night in my own bed, and Mummy woke me up at 5:30. We dressed in lots of clothes. No Jew would dare to leave the house with a suitcase. Thursday, the 9th of July, 1942. The hiding place is in Father's office building. On the bottom floor is the warehouse, and next to it an entrance to the office, which is upstairs. There are 2 offices, a front one which is big and light, and a small dark one at the back. Not many people work in Father's offices. Just Mr. Kugler, Mr. Kleiman, Miep, and a 23-year-old typist called Bep Voskuil. Mr. Voskuil, Bep's father, works in the warehouse with 2 helpers who don't know anything about us. From Mr. Kugler's office at the back, you go up another 4 stairs and you come to the private office, which is very fine and has good furniture. Up on the 3rd floor is our secret annex. There are some attics for storage on the left, and on the right is the door to our hiding place. It's surprising that there are so many rooms behind that small grey door. Margot and I share a small room, and Mother and Father's bedroom is also our sitting room. Up the stairs again is a big light room, which will be the kitchen, and Mr. and Mrs. Van Daan's bedroom. There is a very small room for Peter, their son, and another attic. So that's our lovely annex. Friday, the 10th of July, 1942. Let me continue the story. When we arrived at the warehouse, the annex was full of all the boxes that we had stored at the office for the last few months. No one could possibly sleep there unless we cleared it up. But Mother and Margot were really suffering, and they were too tired and unhappy to help. They just lay down on their beds, so Father and I did it all. We worked all day until we were so tired that we fell into bed too. There was no hot meal, but we didn't care. We worked all the next day too, which was Tuesday. Bep and Miep took our ration books to buy food. It was only on Wednesday that I had time to think about the enormous change in my life. Now I've got a moment to tell you all about it, to realize what has happened and what is still to happen.